And it's Gordo here from Gordo's Games. Welcome in, folks. So, as you may well know, we have taken to speedrunning. Now, we've spoken about it a bit, and obviously you do see me upload videos on here on occasions with the runs I'm doing. You can check the runs out I do or what games I ran on speedrunning.com. Links are all in the description below in Discord. You can also catch the runs live over on Twitch. They will be here at some stage. Maybe when I upgrade my setup a little bit more. I'll be honest, I haven't got around to it as of yet. So apologies there, but you can catch me live on Twitch. We do run most days a week, followed by some other TCG content such as Magic the Gathering. Why am I doing this video? No idea. I had an idea. No, I do know. I do know. Basically, I wanted to share a few things from my journey in speedrunning. Now, I've seen there's been a few videos of this beforehand, but I also wanted to share some pointers for a game that I started out in, and that game itself was Resident Evil 2 remake. The game has been grueling. There's pieces of RNG that really can go against you. But I think it's a very good starting point for anybody who does want to take up speedrunning because I think the game has a lot of things you have to keep in mind with it. So for one, aiming helps. If you can aim, you're in a better place than I bloody well am because I think half my runs get scuffed because I can't shoot it's an headshot. Yeah. Also, movement. Movement is a big key. When it comes to speedrunning, movement itself is a very large aspect of it. Like when you start out, it's not as apparent because you're obviously setting yourself a base time and that stuff. But if you really want to get up into those upper regions, trying to really down tick your time and refine it, you're gonna have to work on your movement, which is something I have been trying to do as much as I can. I've not perfected it in the slightest. Yeah, no chance of I. It's a work in progress. That's another thing. Time spent. Don't expect to walk into this game and then just do it off the bat. If you do, okay, tell me how, show me, and where do I sign up? But it's gonna require time. You're gonna have to get used to playing through the game. You have to memorize a lot of pieces. You have to get used to formulate your own routes and things like that. Now, obviously, routes have been used by people before. And you're probably gonna end up piecing together a concoction of what routes you may have looked at or whatever you've decided to cook up at some stage. You know, and I think something to keep in mind is you do have your own personal touch on things. If there are things that you consider as what's known as a safety strategy, then take it if it's more comfortable for you. Obviously, they just have to keep in mind there are be some hindrances when you do take safety measures. So it might lose you some time, but might not. It's down to you to work those pieces out. So I was going to just go through a few pieces on Resident Evil 2 and I think would be helpful for beginners. I don't know. I just felt like doing a video. I'll be honest. I'm just here for the lols of it, clearly. But if you do enjoy the content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications so you know when this content goes live for you. And if you get bored, comment. Or what game would you like to see? What game would you like to speedrun? Or would you like me to speedrun? You can speedrun it too. But I can't do much about that watching that unless you stream. But yeah, leave it in comments if you think there's anything we could look to do additionally here at Gordo Games, whether it be different games to run or generally content itself, what you'd like to see. If you do enjoy seeing these the speedrunner videos, I'll make it more of a consistent thing where they get put on here as well. But all in all, folks, we're just going to head over to the setup here and just show you a few pieces of what to expect, what kind of things you look to learn at the very beginning, and yeah, pieces from there. So let's head on over. All right, first things first. For anyone who takes out speedrunning, get used to these kind of screens. Words hard. You are dead. Game over. The end. Whatever. Whatever kind of death screen, get used to it because you're gonna likely see a lot of it. I will honestly say speedrun is not for the faint of heart. If you get easy frustrated, it may be not the right choice in life, but that's completely down to you. You might like to put yourself through some misery. I do that to myself. But yes, get used to the screen because things are going to go wrong. RNG is not going to be in your favor. Things are going to get scuffed. You're going to have an off day where you're missing your shots. Your movement and your lines aren't going to be as clean. Things like that. So let's just load up a few things here. So particularly, first things for anyone is making save points wherever you can. So depending on the game you're playing, So for this one, just making save points in regular errors to try to give yourself those practice pieces. Um, this is something that a lot of runners do. Big shout out to XL86J. If you haven't checked him out, check him out on Twitch. I will put his link in the description. He's also on YouTube as well. He's also a runner. Has helped me out with some useful tips along the way. And we obviously he mentioned this one to me as well, which is something I used to do previously in games, but just making boss saves. So you can just go back and run through the boss area again. And the reason things like that are good is it just gives you a chance to rerun that fight and get used to it. Look at the things you need to do to try and make that fight cleaner. How much ammunition do you need? What's your strategies? Where do you need to be standing to avoid getting hit? Things like that. So I guess let's start with movements. So depending on how you want to have this set up for yourself, or make sure you've got the most comfortable layout in your configuration. The one I'm using is Type C, and I've got a toggle and hold, so I actually have mirrored XL on his one, because I tried it before where I had it set up as it's somewhere. Which all sense. I had it down to toggle and then Type A. The only difference is RB is to run now instead of left stick in, and it's now hold instead, which just gives you that little bit more element of control. So as you can see here, I let go of the RB and it slows down. This is good for a couple of reasons, because sometimes you need to backstep on yourself, and that particularly, for me, instead of just being stuck in the whole thing where I'm just constantly running, I can just put a stop to it just by releasing the run button. It also does help you with the quick turns personally. As I said, is down to each their own. So in this game, when you want to take turns, there is a couple of ways to do it. So we run here, and then we can do this. Aim. It's a little bit more stuff when I've got the hold RB down. That's why I have stopped that. So as you can see there, the whole prospect of this, and this is why I stopped doing this one, is because you quickly aim to that direction, release, and it will turn you to that direction. Another way to do it, which I found a lot cleaner to do for myself, I've not still again not perfected, is release the run and then go in the direction there. Do you see here? Go down to the bottom. Release the run now. You see how slow it is walking down those stairs? One of the main things in this particular game is what's known as skating. Now, it's almost a rhythm to it. I have not quite perfected the rhythm, but this is me walking up the stairs. Me walking down the stairs. Pretty slow. If we just press the aim slightly, it cancels out of the walking animation that he does, which allows us to traverse the stairs slightly quicker. I see that I did it part way through, like I said. It's not something I've got perfected myself, but then you go things like this. Get a quick turn in there, and then we can quick turn back around, go back down, run into that gate, because why not? Again, I missed the quick turn there, quick turn this way. There we go, as you can see it. So that's going to take time to learn, time to perfect. I'll be honest, it's something I'm still trying to get down to a good portion, because I'm at the point in my running now where it does come down to a lot of the micro pieces to kind of fix up. So what kind of lines I'm taking, what kind of turns I'm taking, making sure I'm not just doing this on every turn, like running into corners, really scuffing it up. Because there's been no end of times where I'm like in a rush on a good pace. Oh, I turned, and I'm just running into a wall. Even with a quick turn, if you do it too quick, sometimes you can still get caught, and you try to stimulate, you can't do it. But you get the gist. Other pieces to keep in mind for this game: placement of zombies, management of your inventory, and what you need to be taking. What I mean by that is that this game has a difficulty adjustment in it. It's not exactly that relevant to yourself, not in the early days. It's not until you get into the later points where it starts really having an impact. I'm still not at that point yet. But every item you pick up has a difficulty adjustment. So the game has a DA, difficulty adjuster, and that can impact your game later on because it impacts the amount of damage that enemies are going to do to you, how erratic they're acting, whether or not if they lunge at you. You basically technically what you can do is you can headshot a zombie and then it will stagger them. This is on standard at this point. Whereas if the difficulty adjuster is too high, there is a potential chance they can do a double lunge so the first shot won't stagger. So you may have to shoot again, or you have to may just avoid them entirely. So there's a few things there. We're going to go through one of the first bosses here. This is done on 60 FPS. The reason I mention that is because if you play this on 120 FPS, the knife is more godlike. And what I mean by that is you get more frame rates, you get more hits because the frame rate's higher. So it makes things like this next fight a little bit easier. But we're still going to do it. I might say one more time. I swear to God, I'm going to kick myself in the nuts. Okay. So this is G1. This is Birkin. So what we want to do here is we want to knife him. We want to kind of stick to his right arm and kind of rotate around with him. So he should miss us here. And then we want to do the same again. We want to rotate around as he transforms. Oh, I'm going to grab there. Now, on 120 FPS, that is a lot easier. The damage, well, I say a lot easier. The damage you do is a lot more substantial with a knife. Unfortunately, with 60 FPS, it's not always guaranteed that can go wrong. So you see, it goes down here. He should be down after this. No, there we go. And that's the G1. That's all. That's all there is to it. Now, the reason I'm sharing this is because when I started, yeah, I didn't know that. I spent my time like running around, shooting him, doing normal things. You don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do normal things. Normal things are long-winded. But that is G1. I'm going to go on to the second boss now, which is G2. And the reason I'm sharing these with you is just so if you want to have a bad boss fight to look at, feel free to look at it. You can do that fight without getting hit. Generally speaking, it usually moves out a little bit more, and you just keep to that back right elbow. And he'll either go for a swing and he might miss you. You can just get away with it. If he goes to the grab, sometimes you just can't get out of it. It's just going to happen, unfortunately. Okay. So, going on to G2. When I say these, so this is William Birkin 1 and then William Birkin 2, as it kind of changes. I believe this is the correct save. And I'm going to show you the importance of kind of practicing these because I've run this game a few times now. I haven't got the most hours compared to others that run it, but even I make errors in places. So we're just going to show that basically. Let's see, there's some quick turns to keep us going. So what we're going to do here is we've got a little puzzle. We're going to equip our grenade. There's the puzzle solution. We're going to walk back towards this door and then just throw the grenade. The reason being for that is because normally he'd start hitting through the ceiling here. So we're just going to kind of blase past that part so we can just run to the next part. So we're going to run past him, keeping to the right hand side of the shutters there when trying to do so. You can squeeze through. Make sure we're as clean in movement as possible as here, because otherwise he will catch up to you, but just get down here as quick as possible. Going to go down here. There's going to be a button for us to press. Let's press that. And he's going to swing. Okay. Okay, so we take a hit. It's fine. It's fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to flame him a little bit. He'll go down. And then we want to start knifing him. Now, it's about 10 to 15 hits. You'll have to judge this as you go along and get more used to it. What we're going to do here is do this. And we're going to press this button. And we're going to get him to chase us over this side. And we're going to flame him again. And he should go down in one. Let's see. Did I just show you a good one? I mean, I took a hit, but okay. I can tell you now that doesn't happen in my runs all the time. If his health isn't below 50%, depending on the platform you're playing on, PC you can get auto splitters which can give you that information. Other ones you kind of have to judge it yourself. Um, he won't go down in one, and that kind of slows you down impactfully when you're trying to do your runs and that. So just keep that in mind. Generally, what you want to do is flame him, and then you want to knife him about 12 to 15 times roughly. I said as best you can. Hit the button, run back away from him. He will charge you, run past him, and then try and flame him again. Get yourself down. I think about 130 flaming fuel left is okay. He'll go down there, and it should be a clean fight for you. And that is 2. We'll burk him. Next one we got is G3. We'll burk him 3. Most folks will just call it G1, G2, G3, and then Mr. X. So we'll grab this here, and then we'll just go into the boss fight. And we're going to be using the flamethrower for this. So we're going to try and mosey past him here. Oh, a little bit close. That's my own fault there, I got caught. Oh, okay. We're trying to pick things up. Okay, things aren't going right. So what we're basically trying to do here is just flaming him down as much as possible. This is using the flamethrower route itself. I run towards him as he jumps over, and then just keep trying to flame as much as possible. Just keep this on, hopefully. There we go. Alright, well we did get a hit in during that one, and you can do it without getting hit, but that's not always the case. But yeah, generally speaking, what you want to do here is you want to start off, you want to walk towards him flaming, when I get past, make sure you keep an eye on your spacing as he swings at you, because otherwise, like my man here, you can get hit. Whilst walking backwards and flaming, there is ammunition here for your flamethrower. We want to pick that up and then just continue to burn him down as much as possible. This is on the 60 FPS one, so most ideal way to do it. If you're playing 120 FPS, you can go down the route of knives, and that unfortunately I don't play within that region, so I can't demonstrate that for you. But that is G3. And then we have the Tango with Mr. X. This one took me some time to get down, and for the most part, most runners will say this is just a free fight, because you don't realistically have to do any fighting it, you just kind of dance with him. So we have to shoot these yellow things here. Again, shooting is a thing. Just be careful on that. If you don't shoot them, they will grab you and they will punish you for it. We'll go down here. We're going to see Mr. X in his final time in his trench coat and hat. FYI, tip for you folks, don't shoot his hat. He doesn't like it. It's going to do nothing to him. We're going to stand here, we're going to aim at his left titty. And then when he swings, we're going to run, and we didn't do it. Okay, I was taking too much time talking. I'll demonstrate that one again in a second. You know what? I'll show that on here how to get past him. 8 minutes and 10. There are various ways in which people look to do it. It's just the way I've learned. I'll show you. It helps. It helps. Okay, we haven't got space. This was a bad save that I made. Why did I even make this save? So get rid of that. Get rid of that. Grab this. And then we need knives. Yep. Okay. So we're going into the Mr. X dance here. And what we want to do is we want to get straight up in his face and start slashing. Now, you see what happens here is he's staggered. We want to rotate around him. We want to keep in his left peg. Now, I moved there because I lost my positioning, but see, again, left peg. I'm going to stagger him 3 times. Now, I do this just because it's me, and I like to have just a little reset, but effectively you stand here and you just rotate around with him. As he resets, go into his left pec, and then move around. Left pec, move around. And you want to do this. As soon as you've staggered him 3 times with a knife, this is what you want to continue to do. That's all you need to do for the remainder of it until the timer runs down. Because it's a timed event, you don't have to bring his health down. He has like 1 billion health or something stupid along those lines. Watch out for rocks. And don't get caught up in the sauce. Like I have dodged him loads of times and you get cocky and that stuff. No, just keep the tango. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just tango. Now, again. Now what happens here? Rocket launcher there. So run forward, run back, grab that, grab the rocket launcher, and say goodbye to Mr. X's torso. That is the tango. All right. It's took me a while to get that, and I don't still consistently get that. And like I said, I have run this a fair bit. This is towards the end of the game here, so all you effectively do there at the end of the boss, then you do this, then you do this, run through there, and that is the end of the game. But yeah, things like that take a little practice. So having things like these saves and that to come back to with boss fights or particular areas that you feel require a bit more attention is a handy thing to have. And I'm just going to go back here just to go to the Mr. X part, because I don't feel I did it justice for you all. So let me just reiterate that. So we're just going to go back through here again. I'm going to show you how not to shoot. Keep particular attention to that. How not to shoot is my best advice I can give you is do not copy me in that fashion. Okay, we got that first time. Perfect. We did take our time doing it. Do that. Walk into him. Why not? Grab a herb. Sure. All right. So the grate before the little junction, as you see the little square there, which I'm looking at, we want to stand there and aim. So just here. Aim at his left titty. As soon as he swings, we want to move around him. As soon as he swings, just kind of look out to the left or right, depending on which side you're standing. I tend to do it on the right, standing down the right hand side and look out to the left, and that's it for me. There are parts with RNG in this game, such as the dogs and that, which can just cause issues. I won't show them at this point, but like this is a particular area that I've been practicing myself just to try and make myself more comfortable with movements in the game, because that's going to be a big part of where your base level comes into it, when you can start actually just getting away from duking out of being bit and things like that. So right here, so I'm going to use this to manipulate, but I'm going to shoot the floor. I'm going to drag this one out, and then I'm going to run away for it. Now, didn't want to do that, but okay. Yeah, I'm going to let him bite me because I got time. I'm going to give him a knife. And that just comes from just getting more comfortable and confident with the movement itself. When I started this, I used to flashbang this area because it caused more issues for me. But I found after this area, there's a place that's causing more problems. So I decided I need to start trying to save things as I went along. Because you're not always going to find flashes in the right areas. You're not always going to find the right things that you need. If you take too much, you're going to get to the point where you are making the game inherently more difficult for yourself. So again, we do this. Now, I haven't decided to take the knife this time. I'm just going to shoot him. And then run through. So it can change up how you deal with things. That's just down to you there. Another little tidbit I'll go through, but that's just one. Is if you are, I think this applies to PC as well, but this is something I seem to remember, a little despawn trick on one of the lickers. The lickers themselves, particularly, are very erratic. Are the most up to date version of this. A lot of PC players run this on a down patch, which they are a lot less erratic. So we have to kind of just take it with a pinch of salt. There are 2 points of lickers. Once you get to them, you'll understand when. But for example, this is one of them, and you can actually despawn this licker. So I want to show you what happens. So if I go through here, I run through. Now, I'm just shooting that for the sake of just showing you. I missed it, by the way. I know I did. All right, mate. But yeah, so you see there, you can make it through the corridor, but you do have the point where the licker's going to be chasing you, which can make it more difficult, more risky. You come back out, because we actually have to come back this way. Again, Dukes come into it with Mr. X, and we made it back through, which is okay, but there's a lot of risk there. Now, depending on how new you are to it, sometimes you might not feel as confident to do that. I know I don't. I don't particularly like taking the risk because, like, I don't want to be licked. I don't. I just want to be left alone. So one way we can do that is if we go through here, we open this door, turn around, go back out, and then go back in. It despawns him. So the licker's not in fact there. Because also when we shoot the licker, we guarantee that Mr. X is going to be there following us. So we go up this way. It's not to say that he's not going to be there. He might still be here. Let's see. There he is. Good guy he is. And to finish this all off. So, that was just a few pointers for myself here. Like I said, they're not in any particular order. They are just things you may be able to look over. They may assist you. They may give you some ideas going forward, whether you'd be a new speedrunner. I don't know. I don't think an ultimate is going to look at what I do and they'll be like, wow, you're shit. And that's fine by me because I am a newbie. And I stand by that. So if you did enjoy the video, if you did find it helpful at all for yourself, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications so you know when this content goes live for you. And if you do want to see the live speedruns, come join us over on Twitch. We are more heavily getting into the game. We are looking to do some other runs going forward. We have at this point run Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3. We've done playthroughs in the other ones as well, but I am going to be soon to be learning Resident Evil 7 and 8. So we'll see you there. Until then, we'll catch you next time on Gordo's Games. Peace.